If there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that the future will not look anything like today. You in 10, 20 years won't look anything like the you now. However, I think that there is one thing that is certain, in that the future of men is going to be divided, and you have to choose which side you want to be on. So this is something that's like already been talked about, but I still want to give like my own take on it and my own spin on it. If you've not heard of it, then great, so I can actually like teach you. But if you have, then yeah, keep on watching. I think this video will still be of value to you. So essentially, I think like people are gonna split into like noob and pros, or like essentially it's people who are gonna like fall to modern technology, and people who aren't necessarily gonna reject modern technology, but they're gonna reject the instant gratification activities that are gonna be like 20-folded from what they are today. So essentially, like the noob is gonna be using like the latest like VR sex bots and the latest ultra tech, but that'll just lead him to a path of like self-destruction and self-abomination. But like the pro is gonna like use modern technology to like live in the wilderness and like compound with his family and have like a tribe and a beautiful family, have a great business and all of that, because he's followed the road of self-improvement. Like, I want you to imagine this. Like, you're living in a beautiful house and you've got other houses around you which have people you love in them, and it's like this big tribe is family. And like, imagine if you had like in the middle of those houses you had like one big house. It was kind of like the Hogwarts dining chamber, and you'd like all eat together and you'd all like work out together and shit. Like, wouldn't that be so fun? And so you can either take that path, or you can take the path of mediocrity and noob, essentially. Now, I'm not saying you have to want exactly the same things that I want, but I'm warning you that in the future, like, technology is going to become so advanced that instant gratification activities are going to become even more gratifying, and that like dopamine activities are just going to fucking blast your dopamine through the roof. And if you didn't know this, when your dopamine goes up, like essentially motivation and pleasure go up, your body wants to stay in homeostasis. Homeostasis is like the perfect balance, and so it has to like counteract pain you experience with the same amount of pleasure, of pain, and even more. And so in the future, when you're going to be experiencing like a chronic amount of pleasure, like you're going to be hooked into these machines that like pump pleasure into you, you're going to be left in this like chronic state of pain and like pleasure deficit and happiness deficit. And so it's like, I don't know, it's not this scary, like, it's kind of this scary thing that like, imagine these people just on their computer chairs in front of screens, like in multiverse worlds, like doing, I don't know what they'll be doing, but absolutely destroying their health and their mental health and their mental well-being. And then you'll have you who's living in nature, who's meditating, who's reading books, who's journaling. You know, like you get to decide which side you want to be on, and you get to decide whether the future is going to be bright or it's going to be really grim. You can choose either self-destruction or self-improvement. Now, sure, there might be some people who are going to like be disciplined enough, like just disciplined enough to not like totally get overrun by like modern, in the future, like future pleasure and stuff. But I think that that's going to be very unlikely, and that it's either you're going to totally succumb to pleasure and to addiction and to modern technologies that are going to absolutely destroy you, or you're going to take a step back from that and be like, you know what, this isn't what I want. I want a life in the wild. I want to be reading books with my wife and with my kids. I want to be doing all of these healthy things that seem really weird. And the way to get there is simply to get onto self-improvement. It's simply to just start reading books, to start meditating, to maybe, oh, you want to go hit the gym, that's great, and maybe do some journaling after you get home from the gym. Talk about how you feel. Maybe consume some educational content like this. You start to get more and more advanced. You can start to even listen to podcasts and watch podcasts about Alex Hormozi and people who are talking about how to upgrade your business and how to upgrade your life. And then soon, in 10, 20 years, maybe even 5 years, you'll be such a different person, and you'll have like made such a transformation simply because you've gotten onto self-improvement. Well, I haven't yet made like a starter guide to self-improvement, but I do have like, I don't know how many videos I have, but I have like a shit ton of shorts. I have at least like maybe a 50 long form videos. So, you know, just start going through them, start learning about self-improvement. And if you're already on self-improvement, great, stay at it. But essentially, the way to, like, in the future, the way to be living a happy, healthy life is to be on self-improvement, whether you know it or not, and it's to be journaling, meditating, reading, doing all of these healthy, good habits. All right, I hope this helped you, and I cannot wait to see the progress that you make. Cheers, bro.